Hey guys, today we're going to be reviewing the Ausdom ANC7 that are a pretty cool set of Bluetooth headphones for around $100 to $130 on Amazon. Now I have taken these out of the box and I have tested them already, but I just wanted to show you what the packaging and what the unboxing experience is like. And now the first thing you'll notice is that they come in a very minimal, just plain cardboard box. And I'll just take these out for a second. Sorry about that. So it comes in another cardboard box, and you have to open this one up again to find the carrying case that's inside. Now I like that they have a very cheap box so that they can put the money into something like this. Now just look at that. That's awesome. That's an awesome hard shell carrying case that's got carbon fiber on the outside. Well, not real carbon fiber, just the carbon fiber material. It just looks really nice. It's a perfect form factor. You can see it's super slim, so you'll be able to slide it into your backpack, unlike those big bulky shell cases that come with a pair of Beats, for example. But look at that, it's just really awesome. You can get this individually for $8 on Amazon if you want to. However, one thing I would change is that I would remove this indent on the back just so that the case itself could be compatible with a different pair of headphones. But considering that these are made for these specifically, it won't be an issue as long as you're using these. So in the box, or in the case rather, you get a USB, micro USB cable for charging, also a 3.5mm audio cable, a little warranty / Amazon reviewer or piece of paper, card, and also a user manual. Now let's put all that to the side and let's look at the headphones themselves. Now again, you'll see that carbon fiber on the actual ear cups. It looks super nice. I love the way the carbon fiber reflects light. You get a matte black finish on the sides, and red finishes there and there. I would prefer these to be completely matte black without the red, but personal preference, you might dig these. Yeah, I like the way these look. Now let's talk about build quality and design. Now there are a few issues here regarding build quality. These just are very plasticky for a pair of $130 or $100 set of headphones. Not the best, but also not the worst. I'm not sure if this hinge inside here is metal or plastic. It could be either. It was really stiff outside or straight out of the box. Now it's gotten a bit better. So I'm kind of concerned about that hinge. I've had hinges break on me before in headphones with a very similar looking design to this. And secondly, I'll just zoom in here. Focus. You can see that gap right there. Now if you pull these out, fully extend them, and push them back in, sometimes it'll just bounce back. You'll get this little gap there. It happens on this side too. It's just an annoying little gap that doesn't go away. I think it's a build quality issue. It's not that great. It's kind of annoying that that happens, but that's there. So little build quality issues here and there. Now let's talk about comfort. Now the biggest thing about this that I don't like is how deep these ear cups are. They're actually really nice ear cups. You can see they're memory foam. They hold their shape for a little bit. The pleather here is actually pretty nice. It's just that they aren't thick enough, and the angles or the drivers aren't angled either. So your ear will touch the inside of the headphones. Your ears will come in contact with the drivers, and after a few hours you will find that irritating. It might hurt a bit. So I would really recommend, if you're getting these, to find a thicker set of ear pads. The one I would suggest the most would be the Brainwaves HN5s, but those do cost quite a lot. So maybe if you have a thicker pair lying around, use those, because these are really just not thick enough. Really do touch those. Like I said before, they're removable, thankfully, but I would really like to see a thicker set of ear cups for the price. You are paying quite a bit for these. But once you get that out of the way, the comfort is quite good. They're very light, and the clamping force is also very light, so that they just stick onto your head without crushing them. Again, they're super light, so you barely feel them on your head. After a while, they will disappear. But again, wear them for a long time, you'll feel it on the inside, just because of this driver. Now let's talk about Bluetooth controls and battery life. So it uses Bluetooth 4.0 with around 10 meters of range. Now these don't work so well if you walk into a different room or there's something in between the headphones themselves and your phone or source. So they don't do so well through walls, but most of you will just keep your phone in your pocket. It'll be all good, no problems whatsoever. They're easy to connect. You just hold the power button down. Where is it? You just hold the power button down, and hold on. You won't be able to see it. So you just hold this down, and you'll see that light flashing. It'll turn on. And if you hold them down for a bit longer, it'll actually connect to your phone automatically. It won't connect to your phone automatically, but it'll turn on pairing mode, and then you'll be able to see it on your phone, just like that. Once you have that on, it'll connect, or once you have it connected the first time, it'll automatically connect over and over again once you turn these on, and you've got your phone on. So super easy to use. You can also use a 3.5mm jack to power these if you don't want to use Bluetooth, but I will tell you that you do want to keep these powered on. I'll just explain that later, but for now let's talk about other controls. So you also have volume up, volume down. If you hold these, it'll skip tracks or go back a track. And you've also got the play pause / power button that can also be used to pick up your phone calls. And over here you'll see your ANC on and off switch. There's the micro USB charging cable, the light for the ANC, I believe. Sorry. And one thing that I'll say is that turning the headphones off does not deactivate the ANC. So if you leave the ANC on by accident, it'll just drain your battery. But that also means that you can use these just to block out noise without listening to any music. So next I'll talk about battery life. Now these have a 500 milliamp hour battery in them that recharges in about 1 to 2 hours with an 18-hour battery life with the ANC turned on. That's pretty good battery life, and if you turn the ANC off, it'll go for I have no idea how long, but I haven't been able to test that. And judging by a pair of headphones that have 450 milliamp hours, which is 50 less than these, those lasted upwards of 30 hours. So I would expect these to last at least 25 without that ANC on. I haven't been able to test it. No other reviews have talked about how long the battery life is with the ANC off, so I have no idea, but expect it to be very long. However, do not leave the ANC off because it makes the sound quality very bad. Now I'll talk about the sound quality with the ANC off first, then I'll move into what it's like on. So when it's off, I'm not sure why it's this bad, but the bass just gets sucked away immediately. Now these aren't a bassy pair of headphones to start with, but once you turn that off, it's almost completely gone, and you'll just hear little thumps right before a bass, and then it'll just disappear. So I'm not a big fan of big bass, but even if you're not, even if you're a if you're a person that really likes a flat neutral sound, these won't even be good for that because the bass just completely disappears. And it also makes the highs really sharp, really harsh. It's sibilant. It'll just destroy your ears. Not comfortable to listen to. I would not turn the ANC off at any cost. I would rather take these off and not use them than use them with the ANC off. So you always want to have that on. Just make sure you flick it off when you turn these off, or else you'll kill the battery and you'll have no choice but to use it with it off. So the sound quality once the ANC is turned on is quite a lot better. The bass again isn't exaggerated. It's rather flat actually. It makes it stand out a lot more than most Bluetooth headphones that I've heard recently. That is really bass heavy. These actually sound okay. And I come from a very, I use very flat sounding headphones on a regular basis, so these didn't annoy me too much with a lot of bass, so I'm pretty happy with the sound quality of these. The bass is well controlled. The mids are slightly recessed, but they're still clean, but that makes them stand out again above those super bassy headphones. And the highs are actually pretty nice, but just not as detailed as some others at this price point. So these overall have a nice sound quality for a pair of Bluetooth headphones, but if you want just sound, I would recommend getting a wired open back pair. But obviously if you're watching this, you already know you want the Bluetooth, you already know you want the ANC. Now these also get very loud, not as loud as other pairs of Bluetooth headphones I've tested. They're loud enough that I wouldn't use it at full volume ever, but some people out there might want more. Not the loudest, but more than loud enough for me at least. One thing I will say, if you have these at full blast, the bass does get a bit farty. And what I mean by that is if you have these at super max volume and you've got a really bassy track going, the bass will get distorted and you'll hear kind of a farting like sound that's just not very pleasant. So if you're a person who likes to blast their music and have super loud bass, not for you. But for me, listening at normal volumes, even with bass heavy songs at normal volumes, is perfectly fine. Just remember, if you really like bass and you want to crank it up, don't go with these. That's an issue, but for me, for most people, they'll never actually encounter it. I just found it because I was doing bass tests, as I usually do for headphones, and that came up when I was blasting a bass test song. So let's talk about the ANC. It works pretty well. Not as well as something like a set of Bose headphones, but it works enough that I would pay extra money for it. So, unfortunately, as I said before, the ear cups aren't very thick, so it doesn't always form a perfect isolation around the ears. For me, there's a little gap right behind my ears, so a little bit of sound can still get in, but it's still noticeably, the ANC is still noticeable. And if you have those extra pads, or maybe you have a really small set of ears, the ANC will work perfectly for you. So in conclusion, these look super cool. They have below average build quality and limited comfort thanks to these ear pads, unfortunately. They have really good sound for a pair of Bluetooth headphones, and ANC works pretty well. So that's about it. If you liked this review, please leave a like. If you're watching this on the YouTube, and if you're watching this on Amazon, please hit that helpful button down below so more people can see this review. And lastly, if you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below, and or any questions. I will be sure to answer them as soon as possible. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.